If you're trying to get honeys, be like, I want honeys, and if the honeys are into this shit, then I'll do what the honeys, because that's my why.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to be famous and popular and be relevant,
I see it, but
interview Nota, get DJ Smooth, interview celebrities, interview hot it girls, and if that's what you're chasing. But if you're chasing like money, especially on YouTube, the money is easy on YouTube. You need to speak about money on YouTube, because then the banks and the insurance companies advertise and they pay the highest, and you must go for an American audience. So you need to drop according to the American timelines, but discuss money and talk about dollars and speak in English and make it relevant to the American audience, and then you'll get the most money. Or if you want money in a South African context, it's gossip, witchcraft, whatever's trending on social media, whatever politician said garbage, if that's your why. But if your why is something else, hey, you must try not to sell out, man.
Kate, yeah, you've been on. Okay, yeah, that's super dope. Otherwise, everybody, welcome to the, I don't know how, which episode this is, but this is the ABC podcast where we talk everything art, business, and culture. Today we're sitting with the man of the mans, king of the kings, god of the gods, Penuel The Black Pen.
Come on, boy.
This nigga doesn't need questions, bro. Like, you started rolling without any questions in a way. Before we start the conversation here, so I would really love to say thank you to you for availing yourself at that time. To like, it was last minute in a way, and I know you packed a lot of things to just come here, which gives me a lot of confidence.
Why are you lying to people?
I'm not lying to people, bro. Like,
why are you lying
it's
to
not like I booked this
people?
interview, bro. Like, I told you yesterday, actually probably today in the morning, and you were like, I have an important meeting with Tutuzane, but for you, Ntwana, I'll put it
Why
in
are you lying to the people? Okay, to namanga.
I never mind that. We'll talk about it. For real. I'll put my chats on the screen. After this episode, I'll drop a link somewhere.
Sorry for
there.
disturbing your intro. Please carry on.
Word. I think I've did my whole intro. Into yokuqala mfethu, I think this conversation is going to be driven by into ngifuna ukuzazi mina myself, yabo?
Yeah.
Because there was no prep at all, but there's just a lot of things that I want to talk to you about. One of the biggest problems I found when trying to prep for this interview is that everything you've spoken about online. So you have like so many videos on so many topics. So for somebody to try and interview you, I'm like, fuck. So probably the first thing I want to talk about is, how do you make so many videos? Like, what else are you doing on the side? How are you making money in a way if you're spending so much time online and creating content?
Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to the ABC viewers as well. Before I answer your question, just guys, I work with Gift, I work with Kat, I work with Upanzo. I'm always here with the gents. This last minute thing is just, it's to create hype. I do have a lot of content. I actually think it's not a good thing anymore. I think there are people that like listening to some of my content, and when there's too much of it, it almost feels like they're missing out of some of it because they only have limited time, you know. You have to spend time with your girl, spend time with your gent if you're a chick. Obviously spend time with whoever if you're gay or whatever. And then you have to spend time with your family, man, and consume other stuff. And you can't just be watching Penuel the whole day. But I do record almost every day on my phone. 5 to 10 minutes. I try to keep it relatively short because you can spare 5 to 10 minutes per day to watch. And then I work with DJ Spoo on the virtual Mkuku, where we were doing 2 episodes a week. One with me and Spoo for Mondays, and one that I was filming with you guys with my brother, which I'm looking to actually move away from the virtual Mkuku again to minimize the amount of work. And then I work on the Penuel show, where we normally shoot 2 episodes a week, but we drop 1 a week, which means we've got a lot of episodes that are sitting stacked. And then every now and then I make other content elsewhere. There's a lot of content in various places with various people that hasn't dropped. And then I drop on TikTok. Sometimes I drop on Instagram. Sometimes I go live on Facebook. It's a bit too much. But for me, I have a lot to share. I have a lot to teach. Some of the stuff you share and teach, someone is only seeing you and hearing from you for the first time. So you almost have to go all the way back and tell them, I've got children, I'm a father, this is where I studied, this is my religion, this is what I think about money, this is what I think about politics. And someone's like, oh, that's dope. And someone's like, but dog, I've heard this 5 times. I'm like, yes, I know. But there's someone that's hearing it for the first time. So I think that's the answer to the question.
But how are you making money though?
In terms of money from a content creation perspective, well, let me say this. I've got various income streams. I know people like saying, yeah, I must have 7 income streams. Guys, you don't need to have 7 income streams. It's bullshit advice. The real advice is that you need to accumulate as many money-making skills as you can for yourself. And then you need to buy as many assets as you can that generate money for you. That's actually the lesson. But if you are a basketball player like LeBron James, your income stream is actually playing basketball. All the money you make then gets invested in property, but those are not really your income streams. Your skill is basketball. Beyonce is a singer and a dancer. She has share portfolios, but realistically, it's that her skill is that thing. So I've got businesses that I run. I've got income streams on the side, but from a content perspective, I make money from YouTube, the Virtual Mkuku, Penuel The Black Pen, the Penuel Show. When you go live on TikTok, you earn a few cents, rands if you're lucky. And then some people advertise on my platforms and they pay me. I sell books, which I talk about on my platforms. And then I do online consultations. So sometimes people call me. Currently, when we're filming this, I charge 300 Rand for 30 minutes, which I think is a lot. But I also think it's a little bit, I'm just never really sure how to charge, But for now, it kind of feels comfortable and people are willing to pay. So, yeah, that's me.
That's super dope. You love talking about videos. There's a particular video you did 2 years ago. I keep going back to that video. It talks about real businesses and the fact that businesses like web development, digital businesses don't really add value in the real economy. And there are businesses that add value to the real economy. I hope you remember that video. Can you speak about that video a bit? Because I want to hear your updated thoughts about it.
So there's 2 videos I'm thinking about, or maybe the other one's not a video. The first one is going to be, there was a post I once put on Facebook, I think it was Facebook if not Twitter, saying that South African kids need to forget about building apps. To this day I still stand on that, even though technology has kind of moved, particularly because the app game is incredibly difficult. For every Facebook, for every Instagram, for every WhatsApp, forget South Africa and forget Africa. In America alone, you've got thousands of kids that have tried and failed. Kids from really rich families. So to build a successful app is incredibly difficult. We've had Mixit in South Africa, which collapsed. We've had other local apps that have been funded with millions that have collapsed. We don't have a successful app built by a young kid. The apps that we use in South Africa are either Uber Eats, which is not even South African. It's the banking apps, and they funded by bank money, etc. So from an apps perspective and a web design perspective, I still think it's really, really difficult. And it's better to maybe ride another platform. What I mean by that is use your WhatsApp, use your Facebook, YouTube to market your product and get people to order via WhatsApp. And use a Pep Paxi to courier service. They're already there. You don't have to build anything. Over time, if you get that big, maybe you can open your own store. Like, I don't know why parts in Netrip have got their own shops. They can maybe explain why. But to me, I don't see the value when online is the it. I'd rather use that money they use in running stores to rather pump it into vodcasts, podcasts, athletes, celebrities, because those people now become walking billboards. And everyone will be like, hey, what's up? I'm who's famous? Casper Nyovest, I'm Pearl Tusi. Hi, I'm whoever. I'm wearing Ubuntu, I'm wearing Trip. Click on the link to order and it will be couriered straight to you. But that's me. I could be wrong. There's a video I made about there are no jobs coming, which I still largely stand on. And I think a lot of people with ChatGPT, with AI now, and those conversations, which I've been consuming for the past 10, 15 years, they're starting to get scared. The income space has shifted. And I do think lockdown and COVID was a big boost. A lot of people started focusing on podcasts. A lot of people started looking into affiliate marketing and influencer marketing and those things that they hadn't done before. Meetings moved to Zoom and Teams. People are starting to look into online sales. I want to do Shopify. I want to do drop shipping. You know, things that they weren't really aware of then. Or TikTok grew. Social media has become more of something. So a lot of income creation has happened thanks to online. I do not believe that online has been able to absorb all the jobs it has killed. You look at the American space now, tens of thousands of jobs. Facebook, Amazon, Accenture. You can go online now and Google jobs that have, people that have been laid off in the tech industry. You'll find maybe over 300,000 people, Microsoft as well. So I do not believe those 300,000 people, as an example, are going to be absorbed making videos online and selling stuff and becoming influencers. I think the world is moving in a space of more grants. In South Africa, we went from 19 million to 30 million now. More unemployed graduates. More people in the world that are not needed. We're moving towards a universal basic income. This concept was raised, like I said, over 10 years ago. People are only hearing about it now. For now, I think you know, hold on to what you can. You've been fired from your, let's say you were at the post office, which retrenched a lot of people. The guys that were working at the banks, now that we bank at an ATM and on our apps, a lot of the tellers, the banks have gotten smaller, some of the branches have closed. If you're working at McDonald's, now we order on a self-service thing. McDonald's did it, Steers did it, KFC did it, Mr. Price is doing it as well. If you've been retrenched, for now, yes, try and set up a YouTube channel and see if you can get some. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're speaking about 500, 1,000 rand. If you're a bit more popular like me, maybe 10, 20,000. Hold it for now. If you can write books like me, a lot of bookstores have closed down. I mean, you look at Musica closed down. A lot of the bookshops, the exclusive is still kind of holding on, but people order online from Amazon. If you want to write books, you can write books like me. I sell PDFs for $50. Send me $50 via e-wallet, cash send. I send you a PDF on WhatsApp. I've just made $50. You know what I mean? Okay. But obviously people must want to read your book. I mean, if your book sucks, then if you can sell on the streets, if you can get into politics and earn a salary, if you can flip things, if you can rent out a back room, if you can teach kids how to play sports, but please know that as time moves on, artificial intelligence, robots, drones, they're going to kill everything. If you're driving a scooter now for Uber Eats, Take a Lot, Zulzi, etc., the tech that is being held back is things like drone technology, self-driving. I mean, you look at a scooter as an example. Konama crate for people that can't see them. You put a crate on wheels and you remote control it, and you put stuff in there that is secured, and you drive it on a path, and maybe it can even fly, and it gets to someone in real time. That is the future we're looking towards. For me, what I've been working on in the past 5 years is trying to get people to grow their own food, trying to get people to go back to an older way of living, so that if at any given time they switch off your money, you don't have an income, online is not doing the things for you, at least you're going to put me in garden, you'll land the spinach. Usipheke, usifrye, landa umbili ugaye, khanda impuphu, fake emanzini ubilise, udle. The very least ngihlale namajita aniblomo nithi hayi sophuza amanzi ke sidle spinach nophuthu, but at least we have something and our minds are not destroyed to a point where we have to go and steal, because we're like, yeah, but I'm hungry. Yeah, then grow your own food. I can't. Where? Yes. I need money so I can go buy at the shop. And you're like, yo, there's no money and there's maybe no shops. The Amazon has been working on a technology of a self-service shop where your phone gets scanned as soon as you walk into the shop, and your phone is connected to your banking details, and every item you pick up and put in a basket automatically gets uploaded onto your online cart because it's scanning. And there's no teller, there's no anything. When you walk out the shop, it calculates everything that you bought and it charges. So self-driving cars are coming with Tesla and the like, which are going to be more reliable than an Uber driver or someone who's drunk driving you home. You're just going to get into a car, it's going to drive you home. It's exciting for some people. It's going to be very sad for others. And crime is going to increase, which is going to make money for security guards and people that sell guns and security stuff. But I'm still pessimistic. To answer your question, I'm still pessimistic. I'm just watching some of the things I prophesied from the information I had then beginning to roll out. And people are excited, but I don't think they know what they're talking about. Myself, DJ Sbu, Kulego Nkeu, Sizwe Mpofu Walsh, Mac G and Soul currently are building monopolies in the podcast space. We're going to become SAPC, ENCA, maybe in the future. And every kid that's going to want a vodcast is going to have to come through us. Because their channels are going to be so small, it won't be worth it. And our channels will be so big, they'll be making 100,000 to 1 million rand a month. So we'll be able to hire kids to come work for us. And they'd rather work for us than create their own channel because no one's watching it. And when someone's like, it doesn't work like that, dog. It's like, no, dog. The reason why Mixit collapsed, the reason why we can't build our own Facebook and our own Twitter is because who's going to use it? There are so few people that are going to jump on your platform. Rather go have 200,000 followers on Twitter and have people follow you on Twitter. And then be like, Dwana, I'll retweet your shit because I'm that big. It's a capitalist system that is built on monopolies. And now I won't say this negative thing. I'll stop there.
Hope you say it before we end the conversation.
Okay, I'll say it. It is MacGyver's interest with Podcast and Chill to make sure that no other podcast makes it. So that everyone is forced to watch Podcast and Chill. And the 500,000 views I get go to him. And the 2 million views DJ Spook gets goes to him. And the, let's say, 5 million views that every other podcast in South Africa gets goes to him, to a point where Podcast and Chill becomes so big, it's forced to broadcast every day, all day. And if myself, DJ Sbu, Sizwe Mpofu Walsh, Nkululeko Nkeu, David Masha, if all of us want to have platforms, we have to ask him for a slot. That's why kids want to be radio DJs on YFM, on Power, on Metro. That's why people want a show on Mocha Love, on SAPC. That's why you have to pitch. Because their platform is so big, you can't have your own show. So it's in his best interest to do that. It's in his best interest to not shout out our shows, to not come on our platforms. Because capitalism works like that. The guys that own ShopRite don't want you to shop at Pick and Pay. The guys that shop at Pick and Pay, or the guys that run Pick and Pay, don't want you to buy from Pakistanis and Somalians. You know, it's a dog-eat-dog world when it comes to money. Me being here is kind of stupid because it's like, no, you must come on my platform because these are your views. They should be fucking my views. You know, it kills the whole concept of Ubuntu. And I'm just trying to explain a very gloomy, dark picture of the space that we're in. And Walmart, which is the biggest retailer in the world, has bought Massmart, Game, Macro, think Jumbo, and others. At some point, all of those are going to change their names. People just don't know. They bought them a while back. They're going to become Walmart. And once they become Walmart, they're going to become fully American. And that means they don't have to buy South African products. They can source from wherever it's cheapest. Amazon is coming into South Africa quietly now, but they're going to destroy Takealot, which is a South African brand. The media landscape is going to change. Facebook, Twitter wants to destroy SAPC, multi-choice. I mean, we spend most of our times on our phones, not on TV. They want to destroy them. Netflix. It's going to want to destroy them because it's not in Netflix interest to be like, hey guys, don't watch us. Please go watch SABC. Hey,
shut up.
go watch Mocha Love. They don't. They like destroy the fuck out of that platform. It was Ray Kroc who destroyed the McDonald's brothers when he took over the McDonald's burger franchise, who said, if I see a competitor drowning, I'll want to shove a hose pipe down his throat. And it's a very dark quote, but it's actually the real quote of capitalism. ABC, you want to be the premier, you want it to be podcast and chill, in essence. You want everyone when you walk in the streets to be like, yo, Gift, yo, fuck, dog. I fuck with your platform, dog. Oh, Dwana, fuck, I can't wait till Umar Johnson comes there, till Denzel Washington comes there. Yo, I can't wait till the president of America comes on your... Because, dog, you're that big. That's what you want. That's what any kid who has a platform wants. Which means you don't want to be on other platforms and you don't want other platforms to win. And Musa Kaula's big on negative gossip. But Musa Kaula grew big overnight. And other negative platforms grow big overnight because it highlights the toxic... Look at politics. ANC, EFF, they all fucking want to destroy each other. We're not about building together, man. And it's sad, but that's the world we live in. And I'm telling you now, from back then, me saying that, hold on to what you can now. But the reality is it's temporary because the point is to plug all of us. If you've ever watched the movie The Matrix, it's to plug all of us into this cube where we just pump energy into the system, but we're no different to a sheep that's being fed that can get slaughtered later. Yeah.
That's super dope. Manje, do you blame the system or do you blame the people in the system?
There is no system that has built itself. It's always people that build the system.
My point is that MacG was once that kid who's starting out. So as you're saying that everybody wants to get to that position, so do you think the system should change in terms of the ultimate reach, or should the people change in terms of their ambitions? Should you be less ambitious, or should the threshold be a bit lower? With Mangtole, I'm a subscriber say 100 things sharp, man. Let me shout out to other guys.
Being less ambitious is it's irrational and it's not human nature. Human nature is to dominate. That's why we were colonized. That's why apartheid Afrikaners oppressed us. That's why the Zulu kingdom is so big. It's not because they were going around saying, hey, if you're Sotho, if you like us, guys, please come through it, we'll accommodate. There was no accommodation, It was a lot of domination. There was something I thought about. But the system is built by human beings. Human beings can change it. China is maybe a good example with Xi Jinping, where the people will act in the best interests of a particular space. So Zulus will maximize their ambition as Zulus, but they will limit their ambition to whatever the Zulu kingdom wants. I'm trying to think of a way to explain that. So they want the Zulu nation to become the biggest nation on the planet. But it must be the Zulu nation. So that means they're willing to bow down to Zulu, but they're willing to conquer other nations. So their ambition, like the British colonialists, they are extremely ambitious to destroy any nation as long as they limit themselves to the British way of living. So the Chinese, a lot of black people are like, yeah, but look at China. China limits the ambition for Chinese people up to a certain level, but they are willing to conquer the whole world as long as it's in the interest of China. Jack Ma, who built the Alibaba Group, which he then built a holding company called the Ant Group, which was going to be responsible for the largest IPO, initial public offering, in the world. I think it was going to be in America, surpassing Apple, Alphabet now, which is Google. He started going on platforms speaking about how the Chinese government, the Chinese Communist Party, is limiting for Chinese entrepreneurs. And the Chinese government cut him back to size and reminded him of who he is. And the fact that he has to act in the interest of China, he can never be bigger than. the Chinese vision.
Wow.
All of a sudden he disappeared, kept quiet. People don't know where he is. They say the last time they saw him, he was painting pictures somewhere. They asked him, "Are you okay?" He's like, "I'm fine." "Why are you here?" "Oh no, I'm spending time with my family." Yeah, and then what happened to the company? Nope, no comment. You know, so they put him back in his place. So
wow.
To your question about the system and people, so I'll carry on with the MacG example because he's the biggest platform in the country, if not the continent. Podcast and chill. MacG can be as ambitious as he wants, as long as YouTube allows him. So it can never surpass a YouTube American agenda. Once he uses podcast and chill to bash YouTube, start going ham on America, YouTube will remind him,
wow,
hey boy, you exist on our fucking platform. And they'll literally cancel and delete the channel. So you have to play within certain parameters. So there's a system, but again, it's people. Chinese Communist Party, it's people. Xi Jinping as their leader. YouTube had founders. YouTube now is under Google, under Alphabet. The American government, it's leadership, it's people. They build a system, they manage a system. You can change a system. We can change and amend Section 25 of the Constitution in South Africa to say from tomorrow, we will take land without compensation. We have the power to do that. Cyril, the deputy president now, Paul Mashatile, the cabinet ministers, the ANC, parliament with all 400 members, the citizens who vote, we can decide. We can't say, but the system. It's like, no, but who are you voting for? Who is your president? The Constitution was not written by a system. It was written by people. There are people that can change the system, but there are other people with other agendas who tell Cyril, hey, you amend that Constitution, we'll show you flames. So then he's like, hey, okay. And then we kind of get stuck and we call it the system, but it's actually people and their agendas.
Battle of the minds in a way. I think in this world, Vele, minds are ones that are active in a way. And one of the things that I want to shift to is elements that are stopping people from acting onto what they want to act. Or we can do, there's certain things that we can do, but there is that we don't know that we have the power to do that in a way. And I think one of the things that are stopping us is obviously anxiety, fear, all of those emotions that are stopping us from acting in a way. So my question to you is, how do you deal with, number one, your anxieties if you do have ones? Because the part, was it gonna it's so spicy cool. Yeah, 2 minutes. So my question was about anxieties. You could see if you do have anxieties, or if you had in the past, most of the time you interact with normal people, like you interact with the common people in a way. But obviously we do know your mind is here, and some people's minds are here. So how do you deal with anxiety, even though you're about to get in situations where, number one, you have to interact with common people where they take you as a big person, number one, and number two, sometimes you have to do common things, even though abantu bakuthathela phezulu. I don't know if it makes sense. So how do you deal with that situation?
Thank you for the intelligent questions, by the way. I appreciate them.
Wow. That's so dope.
There aren't a lot of smart people and a lot of people that can ask smart questions. So please keep on that. For me,
wow.
I'm not saying for the audience. Some the audience wants to ask Pen, like say, wow, which chick is hot? But for me, because I like intellectual conversations, I appreciate the smart questions.
So dope.
Hopefully the comments will say, if they prefer more, no, ask him about his kids. Ask him about women, but I was you know.
Yeah.
But for me, because it's what I enjoy.
Wow, that's so dope.
I'm trying to think of whether to give you a really long answer or a short one.
You good with them long answers.
Yeah, and sometimes they're tiring. Sometimes
unless you're speaking knowledge and you're speaking to that specific person, because sometimes you big a video and then like it's not speaking to you.
Sure.
But kind of like a video where you're like, your pen is speaking to me now. So I think context, you know.
That's what you want. You're trying to suck out that. Okay. I have spent the bulk of my life trying to figure out why some people are successful and why others are not, why some people are rich and why others are not, why some people are physically superior and why others are not. And I, when I was young, I really thought that it was just lack of information and knowledge. You can play for Bafana, you can play for the Springboks, you can become a dollar billionaire, you can become president of the country, you can become the most successful actor, the greatest singer of all time if you just apply yourself. That was my thinking. For the longest time I was like, no, the reason Gift is not a Springbok is because he wasn't exposed to rugby, he didn't go to a rugby school. If he did, why is Ojima, why is Odla, he was going to get the best coaching and he was going to become a Springbok. As I get older, all of those thoughts have been destroyed in my head, because you meet the children whose parents are dollar billionaires. You meet the children of the parents who go to the top sports schools, academic schools. Your father's a PhD, he's an intellectual. Your mom is super rich and successful and famous and beautiful. So you're like, standard. But you realize that it doesn't work like that. You see it even with siblings, where they're not the same. To answer your question, because you started off with the mind, you just added anxiety as one of the things that is a hurdle. The mind, I've come to realize, is no different to the body. What does that mean? It means LeBron James was born taller than the average kid. He didn't choose it. He didn't work on it. He was born physically taller. And not only physically taller, but umzimba wakhe allows ukuthi adle, akhule, abe mkhulu, not just tall. The next girl is born light-skinned, what we call beautiful, without having to squat her ass. Boy, Jesus,
damn it,
of Nazareth, Haibo,
of
you know,
feminism.
pretty, effortless. She doesn't have to do skin routines and hey, ingane yabantu yinhle.
Moment of silence for that.
Yeah, Tanda, my chair. Then the next guy, I'll use myself as an example. Born with an ability, we're all in the same class. So onke mfethu besilalela umem, yindaba wena uthola 90%. Hayi baba unamanga wena ubufunda, thina besithi sidlala wena ubusigeleza. Lutho baba. How come? And I'm like, I don't know. When the teacher spoke, it stuck in my brain. And when I got to the exam, my brain was able to empty it. And I'm actually pissed that I don't remember the 10%. I'm like, fuck. That's when that girl was passing a love letter. You know, that's why I didn't get 100%. I got 90. But I've realized that the mind, you're born with a mind that is almost beyond your control. And some of us are blessed with minds in this world we live in that are deemed superior than others. Just like LeBron is physically superior. Just like Beyonce is aesthetically superior. And vocally superior. You look at someone like Sam Smith. Sam Smith is gay. He's doing this flamboyant thing now, which is upsetting a lot of people. He's British. But yes, hey, Sam Smith, you know, Adele, based Dula. Some guy of on puli gearbox, you know, heartbreak. Sambonga lo booty, who broke her heart, you know. We got some of the most beautiful art.
Wow.
But Adele's voice, man, her songwriting, even as he out, you're like, eesh. Even a guy whose heart has been broken listens to Adele and gets in his feels like, yes. She's lost weight now. You know, I think she had gastric bypass probably, and some other plastic surgery. It is unfair for me with my mind to try and advise someone out there with a different mind. LeBron can tell kids, hey kids, just work out, hit the gym, be on the court, and then you will be like me. Hey, fuck you, LeBron's daguero. You're fucking 2 meters and you built like a fucking monster.
Wow.
See ya, Colis. Hey, if you believe in yourself, guys, you can be a Springbok like me. See ya. Hey, sack. You know. So the most important thing for me is finding out what is your special gift. Are you mentally gifted? Are you academically, intellectually gifted? Are you physically gifted? Are you athletically gifted? Are you gifted just because abazali bakini banenyuku? That becomes your gift. Like, hey, Baba, I won the lottery. So how do you use that now, number one? And how do you find the people that can plug into what you lack? So LeBron James is is athletically built, but we don't know how good he is at managing money. There's a Jewish kid out there from a young age who's just making money, managing. It was dope. LeBron is like, I want that kid to manage my money. You know, and then LeBron comes up with a brand. Call it James Wear. LeBron James doesn't know how to design, nothing about material, nothing about marketing, but he finds someone who was born for fashion. And that guy who's born to design, you know, rest in peace Virgil Abloh, comes in with LeBron, says, I will design, and not only that, I will find the most beautiful women to market your shit. Because LeBron looks like a gorilla. You know? So girls are not going to be like, I want to wear the LeBron dress. Like, no. I want... what's this lady's name? You're so beautiful. Baby Mama Lil Wayne or Nipsey Hussle. Lauren London. Get Lauren London to model that stuff. You're like, yo, here, do you see how she's rocking that outfit? So figure out what is your special gift and try and become world-class at it. And then try and find all the other people that are super dope at whatever they do and then collaborate. I cannot advise people on how to deal with anxiety because my mind is stronger than theirs. You know, so they can read books, they can watch motivational clips, they can constantly challenge themselves. But the next child gets called fat, they get depressed, they commit suicide. The next child gets called fat, futhi nje awukwazi usibona isidudla esexy njengami yabo uma ukhuluma ngezidudla ezinhle imi, you know, and you're like, oh snap, this is now the king of idudla. Wow. You know what I mean? So it's really unfair. So if you're like, look, my mind is weak, get off social media. Like, oh shit, no, this is not for me. If you're like, look, I'm not athletically built, let me stop playing sports, I'm not good at this fucking shit. I can work on getting stronger because it's important for health, but mina ngiplan la encwadini the athletes mabeqeda kuwina beza Penuel ntwana ngicela i-assignment angishaya awuthi ngikopele lapha like hayi ntwana let's do 20 rand, okay, I show ntwana yami. You're making money from the athletes who fucking suck at school. But the athletes, when someone's trying to pick on you, they're like, say ungayithindi ntwana yami le zokugxoba sana ungangithinti into azokushaya uLeBron. You know, because you're like, I've collaborated with someone who's good at something else. And at least for me, look, outside of the capitalism question you asked, the reason why we need Ubuntu and collaboration is because I'll go back to MacG. MacG is not good at everything. He needs someone who's amazing at capturing Banzo or Cat, who's there doing sound. He can't do that. He needs someone who can promote his stuff out there. You know, he needs guests who, like, people are going to take clips from Podcast and Chill, but it's not MacG. It's Black Coffee. It's Tall Ass Mo. It's whoever. You're like, so he needs the guests who are dope to make that shit pop. When he hosts the Chillers Market, he needs the right people to manage the Chillers Market. You get what I'm saying? So from that perspective, he needs YouTube to be on. He needs Spotify. He didn't fucking create those platforms. So he needs Sol Penduga, who's going to bounce off energy, who's going to come with the puns. He needs Ghost Lady, who comes through and adds a different, like, that is the argument for collaboration and why you actually shouldn't destroy other people. Because people now are going to watch ABC. Let me actually go watch Podcast and Chill. These guys actually will speak about MacG. We're helping him grow. He needs us, the audience. He needs some of us other podcasters and vodcasts to speak about him, to criticize him, criticize the platform, to jump on the platform. I was on the platform, to invite them on, to come on some platforms. Not because you're trying to grow them, but if YouTube shuts you down tomorrow because you said something homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic, you said something anti-Semitic, and you become cancelled like maybe a Kanye or someone else, we've got you, dog. We fucking got you. If the ANC loses tomorrow, they know some of them can join the EFF and at least keep earning a salary. So it's in their best interest to be like, hey, let's not really suffocate these guys. Ray Kroc McDonald's, he needs Burger King. He needs Steers. Because that type of competition keeps him relevant. Otherwise, anyways, what am I even saying? It's funny. And your question about the mind, man, is really a complicated one. Work on your body, work on your mind. I've worked on my mind a lot, but I'm just saying we're not the same. We're not the same. And I get around with normal people and I get on taxis because it's me. I can't advise other people creating content to jump on taxis if it's not them. Can't advise other people to go on platforms if that's not them. People must do their thing, man. And do what feels right for them. I was saying to the gents before this that you need to remember what is your why. What are you trying to achieve? My heroes are Tupac. My heroes are Malcolm X. My heroes are Jesus Christ. My heroes are Thomas Sankara. I like some of the billionaires. Christo Visa, Elon Musk. I love Kanye West. And I look at some of the things that they've done and I look at some of the people that they've uplifted. And I look at some of the collaboration and some of the education they've dropped. And I'm like, those are my guys. Lauryn Hill. Those are my people. That's why I have issues with like a Jay-Z. At times, like a Casper Nyovest. And other people that don't always put other people on. That's why I like stimulating conversation. And I'm not really into the gossip stuff. I'm not a Daily Sun person. I'm not a Mocha Love person. It's not me. There are people who love that shit and it's made them rich and it's made them relevant. It's good for them. Black Coffee said on Podcast and Chill, he doesn't play amapiano. He doesn't play hip hop. That's not his genre. There are people, the Monopolies up there, Cubs of the Small, about blind. There are guys out there, rest in peace, aka or Casper, Blackie, Nasty C, dope at hip hop. He's like, hey man, I do house. Do some Afro take, that's me. And the guys must shine. You know, I believe in the guys. I'll even support them where I can, but that's not who I am. So find your thing, man. You know, Trevor Noah's not making raps. He's not acting in a whole lot of other movies. He's in his lane. Like I said, LeBron James is not now acting in movies and trying to be Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is not trying to be Jay-Z. Jay-Z is not trying to be like, find your thing, bro, and try to be world-class at it. And try and move away from things that cause you anxiety. It's part of it is trying to do what you're not good at. It's trying to get Messi to work in a corporate office. And you don't understand why he's depressed. He's depressed because he wants to be on the soccer field. You don't understand why Cristiano Ronaldo but Cristiano should jump on a podcast. He's not a podcaster. You put him up against Mac G and Saul, they'll show him flames. God doesn't know how to fucking podcast, bro. You know, do your thing and be dope at it. And I think that's my message.
Some of the last questions. Number one, you said focus on your why. And one of the most difficult things, I think we spoke about them earlier on, is that AI, robotics and all of those stuff are taking a lot of jobs away. So the problem I'm thinking about is that most whys don't have money. That's number one. That's number one. Number two is a lot of the okay, let me just say, a lot of advice that is coming out now for people who are being retrenched or people who are looking into making money so that they can also fund their whys is business. Business. A lot of people are first-time entrepreneurs if they just looking to get into entrepreneurship to make money. So number one, what is the mindset a person should get in entrepreneurship with? And then if your why doesn't have money, what do you do? Oh, so that's two questions.
Sure. So there's a lot of whys. Why do you do this? I'm trying to get girls. Why do you do this? I want to get money. Why do you do this? I'm trying to become famous. Why are you doing this? I'm trying to take my family out of poverty. Why are you doing this? Back in grade 8. There's so many reasons. Money for most people is a huge why. Huge. For most people, almost everyone. But the reality is, like, when your brain ends at money, you're kind of like a lazy thinker. Because the why is actually deeper than money. Because, there's these kids that ask, yeah, mom, why do we wake up in the morning so you can go to school? Why do we go to school? So that you can learn. Why do we need to learn? At least my curious brain has always gone to the depths. Why do we need money? So we can have food and a home. And I'm like, oh, so you don't need money. I do. Why? For the home. But if you can build your own home, yeah, but you need materials. Oh, okay. And the materials need money. Oh, okay. But what did our grandparents do, great-grandparents, without money? That car. Oh, so there is a way outside of it. Entrepreneurs in their nature are meant to be problem solvers in their nature. So as a first-time, not even entrepreneur, as a person, you need to be like, it's not about money, it's about the value beyond the money. And if your why doesn't pay you money, can it give you value? And what is that value? And if you can follow a passion that allows people to give you real value, that is good enough. People that watch our content don't give us money in real time. They don't. Anyone who's going to be watching this is not like, hey guys, 20 rand gunbu. The value that they give us is something called attention capital. So they are giving us their eyes and their ears. So we're thankful. We don't know what the fuck to do with their eyes and their ears. What are we going to do with it? These platforms realize that there are people that create value, conversation, education, inspiration, gossip. And there are people that offer another value called attention capital. And they were like, we think we can do something with this attention capital. And what they do with it is they sell it to advertisers. Hey guys, all the people you're trying to sell to are here. Their eyes, their ears are here. So come tell them, say, after this, go buy a Streetwise 2. After this, go insure with outsurance. So come and put yourselves here. And to put yourselves here, pay us. Okay, so the value you're giving us is a market. The market is not there for KFC and outsurance. They're there for us. But while we're here, they get interrupted. Hey, looking for a snack? Go and get a Wacky Wednesday. Skip. But at least in that time. So the value that they've given the platforms is money. So the platforms at some point, and shout out to YouTube, man, for fuck's sakes, all the other platforms have been stingy. Facebook is probably the stingiest platform in the fucking world. And they are the biggest. Mark Zuckerberg is fucking greedy, man.
You're gonna get blocked again, bro.
No, we're on YouTube. We love you, YouTube. You mustn't get put on Facebook, man. Fuck. Facebook is the greediest fucking app, and they slowly trying to experiment with monetize it, but they fucking greedy. Shout out to YouTube for real. It's not much currently. It's about 4 cents for every ad you guys watch that we're gonna get. If the conversation is long, there might be 2 or 3 ads. So if there's 2 ads, that's 8 cents if you watch them, or 12 cents if you watch, kind of situation. And YouTube shares that with us, man, which is so dope. So my why doesn't have money because the people are not paying me. But YouTube has found a way to help us monetize. So all I'm saying is, if you're a real entrepreneur, you're trying to solve a problem. What's the problem? Abantu basekasi, they don't have food. Oh, okay. So what are you going to do? I want to give them food. Yeah, why don't you give them? I don't have money for it. I'm like, okay, just like YouTube, try and find a platform that will allow you to feed these people without the money but with value. How can I do that? Easiest example, ward councillors, mayors have got budgets for social development. SASA and those guys have got budgets to feed people. Social work, all these guys, they've got budgets. Some of the schools have got feeding schemes, etc. There's tenderpreneurs, all of that. How do you plug into that? Do you have to become a ward councillor, mayor, a politician? Do you have to become a tenderpreneur? All of a sudden, you wanted to serve people. That was the platform. That was your YouTube politics. And now you can go around giving all food packs. Hey, Ntwana, how did you do this? it's because you had money. No, it's because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a problem solver. I realized that my why is to feed people. Someone said, yeah, but you need money. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have the money. Where can I get money? Maybe people can donate somewhere. If they can't donate, I was like, but these guys, it's not even, they already have the food. They already have the food parcels, and that's what the people need. So I'm going to get in there. How do I get in there? As an entrepreneur, as a politician, and then I feed the people. Someone else will be like, no, I don't need to go there. I've got a piece of land. I'll plant. I'll give the people food. Someone else will be like, no, man, but why are the people not feeding themselves? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around telling people, like, say, this is how you look after chickens. After you've gotten your chicken to lay an egg, humble fryer, this is how you plant spinach, cabbage, carrots, beetroot, maize, so you can feed yourself. This is how you plant a peach tree. Ulambile, and get a peach, get a plum, get an apricot, get a banana. Can't tell me that you're hungry. So different entrepreneurs, problem solvers come up with different things. And your passion is singing, but no one wants to pay you. But go sing a song and you try and convince the pastor to give you some of the tithes. The church already has the money. If it's not the tithes, umfundisi must say, ibandla, asinayo imali ukunikeza nanga ubhodi noma usisi oculayo, kodwa sicela mhlawumbe okwazi ukumnikeza ukudla, ukumnikeza indawo yokuhlala la ebandleni, please. All of a sudden you're getting, because ucula kamnandi, free accommodation in a back room. All of a sudden khona umuntu athi, hayi, I've got a spaza shop, ngicela ubhodi noma usisi anytime ezazolanda isinko. Value. You know, Penuelism, one of my principles is value over money. And the whole point of it is to get people to think beyond money, because the money system is rigged. It's rigged by certain people, but the value system currently has not been rigged. Even though our land mostly has been taken. Because without land, you kind of can't do anything. Currently, the internet is accessible, but it's going to become less accessible. There's going to become more gateways. What I mean by that is, at some point, you're going to have to pay to watch a podcast. At some point, you're going to have to pay to get onto certain websites. It's already happening now with newspaper websites. Subscribe. At some point, to get certain information, you're going to have to pay. Even or YouTube Premium now. And at some point, they'll be like, if you want to watch The Penuel Show, The Hustler's Corner, Podcast and Chill, become a paying member, a premium member. Otherwise, sorry.
Oh, the content plays 10 minutes.
ChatGPT now is already $20 a month if you want to use it. So at some point, they're going to colonize the internet as well. But for now, exchange value, barter. I don't have new, I don't have, but what do you have? Tell me what you have that I might need, and let's exchange on that. Because at the end of the day, you'll give me money. Kanti lento ade ngiyifuna bengifuna ikota. Kanti wena ubungangikhandela ikota endlini. Ntwana ngifuna ikota. No, ntwana I don't have new, but isinko sikhona la endlini. Poloni ukhona, amazambane akhona, amafutha. Ntwana ngizokufrayela ikota fast. Please help me with this coding. Oh, okay, ntwana, no, sure. How to share ikota? Next thing you're like, how? Abantu are willing to take amakota for service. Then you get the next chick. It's like, say, please come and clean my house. Ngizokushaya ngekota every day uzoclean. Oh, okay. Ships.
Damn.
Now other people are like, say, look, I don't want to clean your house. I don't want to come code. Amakota akho ngathi blind. Nenyuwe mina. All of a sudden you have a business. You weren't even you were trying to get someone to code, someone to clean your house. Obakhandela amakota ukuthi amakota akho blind. But we don't think in terms of problem solving. We think in terms of money, and if there's no money, we stop. Our brain switches off immediately. And that's why I say it's lazy thinking. It says yami phukile. Say gift. Ntwana, look, my car is down, I can't come through. How? Okay. Ntwana yiki ntong. Ntwana, fuck all. Taxi. Penuel The Black Pen on a taxi. Come on, take me serious, man. Take me serious. That's lazy thinking. I'm trying to get to you, A to B, and there's a taxi, and who am I to not get on a taxi? Instead of making content in time, hopefully if I get popular and successful, maybe a taxi won't be best. But for now, why the fuck not?
Wow.
Why not? I mean, the whole point of content creation and online was meant to break certain things that have colonized our minds, but we almost create a new colonization immediately. Then what the fuck are we doing? That's why I was saying to you guys off camera, it doesn't make sense to copy the Penuel Show, Podcast and Chill, The Hustler's Corner, Nkululeko on Culture, SMWX, King David. It doesn't make sense because that's not who you are. One of the coolest, I'm going to put people on, one of the coolest clips you'll ever see is a guy by the name of Peter Thiel. Thiel is spelled Thiel. Peter Thiel is part of what's called the PayPal Mafia. The PayPal Mafia is Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman, a couple of other guys who started a lot of companies, but they were there to build PayPal. Elon Musk went to build Tesla, SpaceX. We know him now, wealthiest man in the world. Reid Hoffman went and built LinkedIn. Peter Thiel went and set up a venture capital fund, which was it was the first big investor in Facebook. You know, he's a dollar billionaire. Peter Thiel has wrote a book called 0 to 1. And he gives a speech, I think it's in Chicago, I stand to be corrected, but he explains the concept behind building businesses. And one of the things he says is you build a business to build a monopoly. Anyone who tells you about competition, what I was saying earlier, is fucking around. And they're talking shit. Oh, we need healthy competition. Fuck that. The Penuel Show aims to be the biggest, baddest fucking podcast on the continent and in the world. I'm going to shut down Joe Rogan. I'm going to shut down Lex Friedman. I'm going to shut down Stephen Bartlett and Dario of a CEO. All those motherfuckers are going to have segments under the Penuel Show. One of the things he says, and this is why I'm quoting that speech, is he says the world has been explored largely and there are few spaces for innovation. And he says if you want to become a billionaire, if you want to build a monopoly, you can't copy what has been done before. Bill Gates became the next J.D. Rockefeller. J.D. Rockefeller was the wealthiest man in the world from selling oil, Standard Oil. He was the wealthiest for a long time. The next popular wealthy guy was Bill Gates for a long time. Bill Gates didn't say, I want to be the wealthiest man in the world. Let me go sell oil. He went to find a space that was not exploited, which was software, Microsoft. And he became a dollar billionaire and the wealthiest man in the world. Mark Zuckerberg became the next Bill Gates, which was like the youngest billionaire at the time. And it wasn't because he was selling software. It's because he found this way to monopolize and to create a huge space in social networking platforms in Facebook. He went on later to buy Instagram, to buy WhatsApp, but that was his space. The next kid that becomes the next Mark Zuckerberg is not going to be building a Facebook or a Microsoft or a Standard Oil. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this, that why do you keep copying what's out there? Because someone has already cornered that. Who is speaking about? Which podcast is covering? Oh, Gogo. Gogo, what's happening? Hey, arthritis. Who's going to watch arthritis? Boom, 100,000 views. Huh? Why? Because in fact, to know Gogo out there that don't know what to do with the arthritis. Koni ingane out there who are like, hey, has been arthritis ifiki. I think to me mama. I think, and you're like, oh shit.
He hit something.
How nang lo mfana lo khuluma no Gogo. Aw mfana miyazi hey sawuthanda umsebenzi wakho.
Hey Gogo.
Which podcast? South Africa is a majority isiZulu platform. Podcast and Chill is an English platform. English is the 4th most spoken language in the country. Which podcast is fucking shit up for the Zulu nation? Ilanga Nesolezwe were the highest selling newspapers in isiZulu. Ukhozi FM is the biggest radio station on the continent, isiZulu. Why is there no vodcast, which is like strictly isiZulu? Sizokhuluma, because it's a no-brainer. Too much work. Okay. Who out there is taking Podcast and Chill, the Penuel Show, the Hustler's Corner, all these other platforms, chopping up the clips, taking the clips from TikTok, and then dubbing the 30 seconds, 2 minutes in isiZulu? How much you saw, like say, we tell you, AK bazomenze njani? Oh yeah, yazini we make chief it. Hey, AK to try. And you're like, oh shit. Why didn't I think of taking the same fucking Podcast and Chill episodes and dubbing them in isiZulu, Xhosa, Sotho, Tswana, low-hanging fruit? There's a guy on Twitter who I really appreciate. His I think his handle is, this is Colbert. Colbert. He takes clips from all the podcasts, from certain news, what, and he just pumps the clips like this. I think he's got over 50,000 followers on Twitter just with those clips. And you can imagine if he had a YouTube channel that was doing just those shorts, he'd be making money. He should be getting paid on Twitter for that. STK_06 took 2 clips that I had filming with Vusi Tembegwayo. They put some music at the back. They took a specific, I think one of them has done over 1 million views. They didn't shoot the episode. They're not part of the Penuel show. Imagine if TikTok was paying them. That's money, boy. So you don't have to create the next. You can just be in your own lane. Just fucking do your thing. And be like, okay, look, I'm going to do Penuel show reactions. Every time Penuel drops, I'm going to go and analyze. And then my thing is going to be, I'm going to take certain clips. You know when Penuel spoke about, or when Gift and Penuel speak about artificial intelligence, I just want to let you guys know, artificial intelligence is something that was come up with at this time. It's something that is in Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum manifesto. What is artificial intelligence? It's this. What is the fourth? And someone's like, Exe. Every time I'm like, I'm not sure this. I'm sure Lumchita broke this thing down. Someone else is like, Exe, let's just profile what these guys are wearing. Guys, if you phone a skip, I push us 50 rand, hit me up. You know this thing that to make G was drinking. I sell that, guys, for 200. Just find value somewhere else. Someone's like, Exe, that thing that to Black Coffee was wearing, I want it. Or Kona Leche relay that always profiles whatever the guest was wearing, I can get it for you. You will pay me, I'll courier it. Again, problem solving. You don't have to copy and paste what other people have done. Do your own thing. Do your own thing, man. And that's where you become special.
I think the more you think like that, the more you start looking at the world from a point of abundance in a way.
Yeah.
I think this is the last question. I
do. I'm sorry.
You should be
sorry.
oppressed. Amara, you are oppressed, innit? Like you're a god.
I'm sorry for talking too much.
Nah, that's dope because we're learning, you know.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. So the last thing I'm probably I've asked this question 1,000 times, but I really love your response on this question because at least the Ubuntu totally self-esteem from this. What are you currently struggling with? And then just to end it off, what are you planning for the future in a way?
I'm currently struggling with women. I'm currently struggling with fatherhood. I'm currently struggling with money. I'm not struggling with money. I'm struggling with time. I'm struggling with people's demands of me. I really do want people to rise up, and it's sad. Abundance versus scarcity. Once you start becoming a voice, people demand you to sit with certain people and have certain conversations. Whereas I'm like, you do it. They're like, no, we want you. Come on, leadership. Leadership. The women front is a bit tough for me. I've said before that I've struggled with whether to be with one woman, multiple women, how that looks. I've hurt a lot of women. I'm hurting women currently now, and I'm just trying to settle my mind on how to move forward in that regard. I'm struggling with fatherhood in the sense that I fucking love my children. My children fucking love me. Their mothers are in different places, and I wish all of them were lived with me or close to me. I'd love to have more time with my kids, to spend more time raising them, exposing them to things. And that's my sadness, and it ties into time. The other thing with time is so many people want me to do so much work, but I don't have time. I travel, I meet people, I have my own life, I have other things that I do. I travel, to mention traveling, because I actually travel a lot. I don't have enough time to interview every single person that people want me to interview. I don't have time to ask every single question that people want me to ask. So it becomes sad for me, and it's a challenge because I have limitations. I spoke about limitations. For people that are more able than me to help build my team without me knowing it. And be like, Penzo, here's a team for you. I met you in the streets of Spruitview. And you reached out to me, and we worked together on the Hustlers Corner with DJ Sbo and Justice Shabalala. And after that, you were like, you still want to work? And I was like, let's work. And I didn't know that you already had a team, the guys that I keep mentioning now, and there's so many other guys out there. And when I came here, it was just plug and play. So when I speak to you, I'm speaking to 5, 6 other guys, and there's a studio, and there's equipment, and there's editing, and there's film, and there's sound, and there's photography, and we even have guests. And you're like, oh, fuck, Gift, thank you, bro. You are a blessing in my life. So if other people can come and be like, I can solve your problems, I'll be your PA. I'll drive you around. Don't worry, I've got a car. You'll just put in fuel and some money for eating. I'll drive you. I'll edit some of your videos. I'll get some of the guests. I've got certain studios. Just don't worry when I just come and do your thing, because I can see your thing. Sometimes you ask smart questions. I'll take care of it. I'll dress you. I know you want black. I know you want your face on everything. I know you want Penuelism everywhere. I'll do it. Here's a sample. Don't ask me, Kogala. If you like it, come back. If you don't, can have it for free. Be a problem solver. Ben, Donna, I just want to work with you, man. I just need capital. Donna, do you know how many DMs I get? I can't help everyone. I'm sorry. I don't have time. I don't have resources. But solve a problem. Fine. You've already heard I'm in Sprayed View. You've seen no Gift or Barnes. Find these guys. Be like, no, I'm just going to lurk around. Drink bafethu hangizwile nikhuluma ngamakoti yazi ngidayisa amakoti usuyangena in the circle ekuse ubulumjida wamakoti ekuse iblechere nokufika lapha ethi sifake i-makeup or whatever. Add value, man, and all of a sudden we like having you around. We want you around. We want to interview you. When someone is looking for a makeup person for amakota, you are our person. People, because of a poor education system, because of pathetic celebrities, because of junk content, because of useless politicians, they don't allow themselves to think anymore. And they expecting other people to solve their problems for them. And they want everyone to be their hero. And we can't be everyone's hero. So we'll do the best we can. And for those that are willing to work, they'll find us. For those that keep coming up with excuses, vote ANC, vote EFF, vote DA, and keep voting for empty promises and the destruction of your brain cells. But if you want to join us, the Penuelism movement, you must know that we're about problem solving and adding value. And once that happens, it becomes easy. Made Gift once, came on the Hustlers Corner, delivered dope content, sat again, delivered dope content. We've had sound issues. We've had content issues. We've lost episodes. But we just keep going because we keep adding value. And when I'm not here, the guys keep working. They're not like, nah, they keep working. If you're going to have excuses, you're not one of us. Again, go vote for politicians. Carry on following these useless celebrities. Carry on focusing on gossip and junk. That is who you're meant to be. Unfortunately, we're not those people, and we're sorry. Maybe one day we'll hire you. Maybe one day we'll do charity at Kaslako and give you free food. Maybe one day we'll work with your politicians and get tenders and feed you. But if you want to work with us, you must already be willing to work. You must already be willing to put in value. We don't have time for beggars and charity cases. We don't run NPOs here, boy. When we run NPOs, you'll find out. We'll say we're running a soup kitchen somewhere. Ozozosha IQ. Sikpagele, ubonge, uhambe. But if you want to build, you must have a building abundance mindset, and then we can work and we can do something special.
Is Penuelism going to be a political party?
No. Politics by its design is destructive. And politicians are not in the business of solving problems. Politicians are in the business of getting votes and getting seats in parliament and then going to get funding from rich people. The people that are in the business of solving problems are entrepreneurs and business people. So the politicians that want to solve problems go into business. That's why your government offers the services to tenderpreneurs who are business people. So they're not solving the problems that the tenderpreneurs are. The state-owned enterprises they have outsource the work to business people. Politicians don't know how to solve problems.
But what do you think is the future of politics? Because in the denial is that the people who we believe in society are the leaders or are people who can solve social problems don't want to go into politics, like the likes of Penuel, the likes of Untlantla, the likes of Vositembegwayo. There's people, everybody's like, nigga, get into politics so that at least you can be in a position to help.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the last question because our camera crew
It's not happy.
is not happy. Just
Banzo,
that.
why are you so angry? Who cares? It's going on for too long.
That's when
I'll keep it short. The
Yeah.
politics argument is like the money argument. There's something beyond politics. There's something beyond money. You don't need politics to build a school, to build a house, to feed Okoko, it's just you have to do it. And if you're gonna say, nah, Patu Ramaphosa, Patu ANC, Patu Ulmen, you've limited your mind.
Ish.
So think beyond your mind, and that's why Penuelism thinks beyond politics. I'm done. Banzo.
Otherwise, this was ABC. Thank you very much for tuning in, Penuel. If you're looking for more content, there got Penuel. Just type in P, it will say Penuel because the nigga has a lot of content. But otherwise, thank you very much for
the Penuel Show, bro. Penuel The Black Pen, the Virtual Mkook. I need to stop giving a shout out to other podcasts because they generally don't shout me out. Motherfuckers. Motherfuckers. What are fuck it, whatever.
We out.